Hey guys, thank you for checking out Delivery. So this is just a quick intro. I'm just going to tell you a few things about Delivery. This is going to be split up into a few different sections. The first one's going to be how to create your gimmick. Then I'm going to go through each phase of the trick and break it all down for you. Then I'm going to give you some different handlings with the cards. Then I'm going to give you some other ideas with things such as ring magic and stuff like that that you can apply to the Delivery gimmick. So yeah, I decided instead of releasing the Delivery tutorial on something like The Wire and charging you like $1 or something, I decided that instead I'd just give y'all a free trick that I thought you might really enjoy, and so instead I decided to release it onto YouTube. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so here are the materials you're going to need to create this trick. You're going to need some envelopes. Really you're only going to need one per time you actually perform the trick. I'll give you a tip a little bit later on how to use one envelope to practice this trick over and over. And it's rather simple. And you're also going to need a knife and a playing card. Now, I'll explain why you need a playing card in a little bit. But anyways, all you're going to do is you're going to take your envelope, and if it's like, you want an envelope like mine right here, you don't want it to have the little window on the side. It's not going to ruin the trick if it does. Just make sure that when you show the envelope at the beginning, you don't flash that. But yeah, so what you're going to do is take the envelope and put this flap side on the top like this, and on the right hand side. So this is my right hand, so like this. Alright? And it's important you do that because you're going to cut on the upper left corner with the flap on the right side. Alright, so how you're going to do that is just stick the knife into the envelope. And why you want to stick the knife into the envelope is so that you don't cut all the way through. You just want to cut through this top side. Alright? So you're just going to stick the knife in to somewhere down into this corner. Not all the way into it. Alright, you can see about there's where I am. Sorry if it's off. Alright, then you're just going to stick it, your knife, straight through. Alright, make a little hole. Alright, just like that. Alright, now this is where your card comes in handy. This is going to be for the length. You want to make it a little bit longer than your playing card length. So I would say maybe like a centimeter on each side. You don't want to make it too long, but you definitely want to make it a little bit bigger. So what I do is I just stick the knife back into this hole and just kind of cut. Now, it doesn't really matter how clean this cut is because you're going to be covering it, and so let's see how long that is. Make it a little longer. The only thing that really matters about this cut is the length of it, and I'll show you a closer up view of the cut once I make it. Alright, so here, let me zoom up on this here. Alright, so you can see the cut I've made right here, and you can see the length of the cut compared to a playing card. That's about how you want to make it. Alright, and the reason behind that is for one of the handlings. So, as I said at the beginning, if you want to use this envelope as your practice envelope, it's pretty simple. Just do not seal it. That way, when your card goes into the envelope, then you can just take it right out. But when you go to perform the trick, make sure you do lick seal the envelope so you rip it open and show it on the inside cleanly so they don't think that you got it in this way anyhow. Alright, so that is how you make your gimmick. So let's go into phase 1 of the trick. Alright, let's jump into the explanation of phase 1. So how I like to start off the trick is I show the envelope and it would be sealed. Sorry about that. It's not sealed right now because I'm just practicing. But as you saw in the trailer, the envelope is sealed during the performance, so if you're going to be performing this, make sure you do seal the envelope. So how I do it is I have the envelope sitting here, and you can either draw attention to the envelope, which I like to do. I pick up the envelope right here, because that's where you made your cut, if the flap is on this side. If the flap is on this side, then make sure you do pick up the envelope here. So just be aware of how you set it up, where you're going to pick up the envelope. So you want to pick it up with your fingers covering. Sorry, there's no light up here, but there's the cut right here. Make sure your fingers are covering the cut. So as you just slide your hand under, just cover the cut. And then you can show the envelope cleanly and place it back. Or you can just leave it there the whole time so they aren't suspicious and don't know what's coming. Either way will do fine, but phase one is just the ambitious card routine. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just have the spectator select a card, all right, and sign the card. Oh, this Sharpie's drier than dry. Oh well. They could sign the card if you didn't have a dried out Sharpie, which that's really annoying. Anyways, and then you simply perform an ambitious card routine any way you want. But when you're done with your ambitious card routine, you want the card to end up right here on the top, okay? The first big move for delivery is going to start with a pinky pull, which just is pulling down, let me get it in the light, this bottom card, okay? So you're just going to get a pinky break pretty much underneath the bottom card and transfer it into a thumb break. So it'll look like this. You have pinky breaks by doing a pinky pull or something along that line, and then transfer it into a thumb break, which I hope you can see that. I believe you can, yeah. Okay. Alright, and the reason for that is this next move. You're going to swing cut off the top packet with their card face up just like this on top. Swing cut that off into this hand, which if you don't know how to swing cut, I'll just give it pretty quick. You're just going to take your top pointer finger and just lift up and pull over and then just grab them. Alright, so that's a swing cut. Alright, and then when you go to turn this card over, you're going to use this deck, and as you turn, once you cover it like this, you're going to take this thumb break and just release it on top, alright? So when done full speed, it's completely covered, as you just saw, okay? So you need to practice this in a mirror, and once you get it down a little bit, practice it for some friends. But anyways, when you go like this, it turns, and you drop that thumb break card on top. Alright, so this is your setup now. You have an indifferent card and then their signed card. Okay, and you're going to take this and fan it out, spread it. For my personally perform this trick, I do a one-handed fan like this and place the card just like this, and I'd ask a spectator to push the card in. Now what that does is it gets all the eyes to shift to this card, which is allowing you to do a sneaky move with this card. So as they're pushing this card in, wait and look at their eyes, and as soon as you see their eyes completely go away from you and onto this card, take this and slide it up and put it in between your lips. I can't exactly get my head into shot, but it's gonna look like this in your mouth. So it's just hanging in your mouth like that. Not all the way in your mouth, just hanging there. Alright? So let's do a quick review. Alright, you have this. You do your secret move. Tell them to square it up, and as soon as their eyes go away from you, you take this and put it up into your mouth. Another way, if you didn't want to do that, if you think that's nasty, germaphobe, something, then what you can simply do is when you go like this, and they square it up, and then you can do what I did in the trailer and just show that it jumped over here. Either way, that is phase one, which is a quick review, just an ambitious card routine, finishing with the card up in your mouth or back on top. Alright, so let's move ahead to phase two of the trick. Alright, so for phase two of the trick, I found a better Sharpie, by the way. This one is red though, but it doesn't really matter. So you take their signed card, and all you're going to do is any false cut, 180 helix cut, any type of false cut. I'm not going to go over any false cuts. Or controlled riffle shuffle. Just keep their card on top somehow, however you want to do that. All right. So, but make sure it looks like you're shuffling the cards. Then what you're going to do is do a double lift, which is simply lifting 2 cards. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to do this, so I'm not going to go into detail, but pretty much just do a double lift and reveal an indifferent card. Okay, now this is nice if you have 2 spectators. If you don't, it's fine, just use the same one. You show this card, and you ask the next spectator or someone else to sign the back of this card, just initial it. Now remember, this is actually 2 cards, the top card being their card. Alright, so make sure they don't try taking it from you. Just say, here, I'll use my hands as a table. Sign, initial the top of this card or something. I like saying initial, because then they'll just do something rather simple and fast, and you won't have to worry about them really taking it. Alright, so they initial the top of this card, which they believe to be the Jack of Spades. Okay? Now this next move is a card change that I came up with. Now, all that's happening underneath the cover is this card, the bottom card, the indifferent card, is sliding back actually into the deck, and you're pulling this out, and it looks like the initial on the back jumped. Alright, so to them, they just initialed the back of this indifferent card. What they really did was initial the back of the other signed card, but they don't know that. So you reveal, once you show the initial, and you show this as the double lift, riffle through the deck somewhere, and you're going to place both cards into the deck just like this. So you're with 2 cards here. Alright, and then right now, this double lift isn't moving because you have your fingers in this grip. Just like this, and you can show that cleanly. And I like to make sure at least one letter of the initial is visible. Okay? So you show that, and what you're going to do is a shaking motion. And as you do that, what happens is this finger, your pointer finger, moves off up here. And as you're shaking, this is all it's doing. It just pulls that card down into the deck. Okay? Go over that again. All you're shaking, and this finger just pulls this card down into the deck. Alright? So when done full speed, it looks like this. You show the card, give it a few shakes, and take the card out and reveal that it changed into, not changed, but the signature seems to have jumped to the back of this. Now this is a very powerful moment in the trick, so just hand that card to the spectator, let that sink in, okay? And then, once that has sunk in, you put the card back on top, and now you're ready to begin phase 3 of the trick. Alright, now phase 3, this is the big moment, but it's also going to be one of the trickier moments. So I do have other handles that will change the entire trick, but make this moment very, very simple. But I'm going to go over the handling that I did in the trailer. Alright, so what you're going to do is a double undercut, which is pretty much you get a thumb break. I'll make this a massive thumb break to make sure you can see it. Thumb break underneath the top card, you're going to take the bottom half of the deck and put it on top of that thumb break, and you're keeping your thumb break, and you're going to take the rest of it and put it on top. So basically what that did is just move their sign card to the bottom. Alright? So once again, thumb break, then cut from the bottom, and you're here. Alright. Now this next move, you're going to take a pinky break. Once again, do the pinky pull some way to get a pinky break. Alright, and you're going to take your hand and talk to the audience. Get their eyes off your deck. Alright? Pretty much what you're going to do is I move my hand back to here, and I get my first finger in contact, and you're going to make a card, you're going to fold the bottom card. So you're going to grab it like this, so you have it in a thumb break right now, pinky break, you have a pinky break, change it to thumb break, and now you're in this position. You're going to take it, and this is all under the concealment of the deck, and it looks like you're just bringing the deck back into this hand. What you're doing underneath is just folding it like that. Alright, so you just folded their card in half this way, so this is the position you're in right now. You're on the bottom and you have their card folded in half. Alright, so you're just like this, and you're holding the deck. To the audience, nothing has happened. What I like to do is I start talking about the envelope now. I say, this envelope, it's been here this whole time, right? And I move the deck over. So this is in my hand, about halfway over the card. And then I just grab the deck up like this. So this is what it looks like to the audience. What you just did was you got a crease made on this card, alright? And I take the rest of the deck, and I move it away. And as I do that, I wrist turn, or wrist kill. So you move this deck away, wrist kill, and just close your fist. Alright? And what that just did was folded up their signed card. So that's in your left hand now. Alright? What I do now is these two fingers, you get this palmed, finger palm, and I grab the envelope with these two fingers. Alright? Now here's the move that's going to take some practice. Alright, you're going to go, this is going to be what it looks like. You're going to go finger palm up to here, and that's pretty much going to be it. Alright? So you're in a finger palm, holding it like this, you go up. You're holding it with this hand too, so you go finger, then you're going to move that up, and with your thumb, this is, you're going to really just have to feel this for yourself, but you're going to get this right here, right before the cut. Let's actually zoom in, because this is a pretty tough move to explain from far away. Alright. Alright, so pretty much, I know this is still zooming in. Oops, yeah, it's gonna go way too close. My camera kind of zooms by itself. I'll just explain it with one hand. So pretty much, you're gonna push with this card down right before the cut, and then just with your thumb, just slide it in. And I don't have another hand holding this, so it's so hard, but you push down, and you can see it's already in, and when you have the other hand, it'll be easier just to use your thumb and just push it in. Alright, so let's go all the way back out, and I'll do that again so I can show you it. So you have it in finger palm. You grab the envelope with the cut right here at your left hand. This is what it looks like from the front, and then you straighten it out, and now the card's in the envelope. That was that simple, alright? So it goes this, then your hand straightens, you push down with your thumb, and your thumb just kind of pushes it in, alright? So it'll get about this far in, and then you can do whatever you want to get it the rest of the way. Alright, and what you want to make sure you do now is use your thumb to really just close up that gap. Okay, and what I do is as I close that gap up, I turn it over, and you can have them feel the card, squish the card. Right now you're pretty much clean, alright? And I hold it up to a light so they can see it in there. What you want to do is try moving the card inside. You can say, look, you can see it even moving inside the envelope. But however you do it, you want to move the card. I'll just do it fast here. Just move the card somehow down to this bottom half of the envelope. Okay? And right now, if you're practicing, you can just open up the envelope and take it out because the trick is over. But let's say the envelope is sealed, which I just did. Okay, so your envelope's sealed, you're actually performing it. You get it from their angle, this is what it looks like. From your side, you're just moving the card until it's down here somewhere below the cut, alright? And this is how you end clean. You take your hand right at the cut, and you're rip right below the cut, and you're just gonna rip it open, okay? And what I do is I instantly take this hand and crumble up the paper and throw it away or dispose of it however necessary, alright? And then you can show this as cleanly as you want. You're completely free. Have them reach in, you reach in, however you want it, and you just blew their minds and gave them a moment that you'll always remember. So yeah, that is delivery. Let's go on to some additional handlings with this trick. Alright, so the first alternative handling, you're obviously, this is for the people who don't want to destroy their cards, who don't want to bend them. So obviously you're not going to sign the card. So for phase one, what you're going to do is just take the selected card, do the ambitious card routine, do everything the same. You can do the card change if you want. Obviously it won't be as powerful without the signatures. But the card, instead of being folded up and put into the envelope, is simply just going to slide into the envelope just like this. And then you can hold it up to a light and show and just shake the envelope and it'll move down like that. So just shake it against your hand like that. So some ways to get the card into the envelope with this handling. There's two different ways. One's for more beginners, and another one is for more advanced. So we'll go over the advanced one first because I need to switch camera angles for the beginner one. So the advanced one's simple. You're just going to get a pinky break and simply palm off the card like this. And then when you pick up the envelope, the palm card's in your right hand unless you're left-handed. Then this springing motion with the palm like this will kind of just push the card into the envelope as you transfer hands. So you have it like this, and you transfer hands, and the springing motion pushes the card in. So it just look like you're transferring hands from the front angle. So that's the more advanced one. Obviously, you wouldn't need to do the double undercut that I talked about in the card fold handling, because you just need the card on top. But I still would suggest doing some controlled riffle shuffles or something to keep the card on top but confuse your audience. Alright, so you simply palm off the card, grab the envelope like this, and transfer hands, which when you're transferring hands, you're pushing the card into the envelope. And then just talking about it, showing that you can see a card in the envelope, and shaking like this to get the card past there, and then still ripping it open. And the trick is pretty much the same from that point on. The beginner, the more beginner handling is, I've decided actually I won't transfer camera angles, I'll just keep it like this. You're going to need a pinky break underneath the top card, and you actually kind of want it a bigger pinky break so you can kind of get these two fingers into the break too when it comes time for it. So make sure you have like almost your whole pinky in there, but it's still pretty hidden. You don't have to worry about that, but just get a pretty big pinky break. And what I do is I transfer this, and as I'm bringing this envelope over, I'm taking my fingers like this and lifting up this card, all right? And so the envelope comes over, and it simply, as it comes over, I do that thing that I just showed where lifting up the card, and the envelope just simply comes on top like that, and I go, actually, let's get rid of the deck, all right? Now, I don't know if you saw what I just did. Envelope comes over, and the card's here, all right? So this is what it looks like from the front. And what I do is I go to grab the envelope, and I run my finger along my thumb, along like this. And once I get behind the cover of the deck, I extend my thumb to the bottom of the card and push it up into the envelope like that. And then move that deck away. All right, yeah, so those are the extra handlings for this. Let's go to some other things that you can get inside this envelope and how to do that. All right, now the extra objects all need to be small objects that you can do the French drop with or some other kind of vanish like that with. So a coin, a borrowed ring, be creative with this, just a small object that you know how to vanish that will end up in a finger palm position, all right? So if you don't know the French drop, pretty much this is what it looks like. As your thumb comes over, you just drop the coin into this hand and act like you're grabbing it. So from the top, you'll be able to see the coin still here. But from the proper angle, which I don't know how to do like that, it'll look like a vanish. That's the French drop. You're simply going to do that vanish so it's in finger palm position, vanish it, and then introduce the envelope again. And as it's in your right hand now, we worked with the finger palm in the left hand how to do that. So as you lift the envelope, make sure you keep this ripped part away from the eyes of your audience. And it'll be like this. That's going to be the move, all right? But it'll look like this. As you transfer hands, you simply push down once again before the cut and slide up. And now with the coin, it's going to be easy just to slide right on down. All right, and that's going to be nice. And you do have to be careful because as you can tell with the envelope with the coin in it, that looks a little bit different than when you just, than when you just lifted the envelope. So you do have to be careful with that. Maybe like lift it quickly and bend it up or something. Just be cautious of how the envelope reacts with the coin in it because you want them to think that the coin is already in it before you even touch the envelope. Okay, so coin, ring, any small object. It's in a finger palm position, bring it over, put there, and then just slide it right on in so it looks like that. And you can say, listen, you can hear the coin, you can feel the coin, anything like that. And once again, you just rip open and reveal the coin inside. So yeah, let's go on to the closing statements. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the tutorial of delivery, and I hope you have a lot of fun with this trick. Be creative with it, come up with different handlings that fit your own style, come up with different things to get inside the envelope. Anything like that, please share with me. I love watching what the YouTube community does with the tricks that I put out there. So I really hope you enjoyed all this. It's a very powerful effect if you do it right, but remember, always just practice in front of the mirror first, then do it for family, parents, brothers, sisters, grandparents, anything like that, who will be completely honest with you if you mess up. And then once you get really comfortable with it, start sharing it with some friends, and then eventually build up to just random strangers, and it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.